now, babies.
How are those last 2 episodes, huh?
Fucking crazy. That last episode was fucking crazy. That last episode, money.
You didn't even see it, have you?
I did. The jail? Dude, when that black guy goes to try to kill a guard. Right? No, he doesn't die. Kyle and Mike don't die.
Have you seen the last one?
Yeah. Don't fuck with me, boys. I've seen it.
I'm making a great episode. We have a great episode right now for the Simple Minds Sports Show. What do we say we get that started with some opening takes? And Bill, why don't you kick us off, seeing as it's a mystery of what your opening take is going to be tonight? Start off the Simple Minds
politics.
Sports Show.
Come on, politics.
Oh no! So I don't know if you guys have heard. Cain Velasquez just got arrested today for Tuesday, for attempted murder. Hold on,
I don't know who that is.
Cain Velasquez, former heavyweight champion, UFC. Ray should know him from WWF or whatever stupid shit he calls. So
worldwide.
So he got arrested. Hold on,
what is that?
Whatever it is. So he got arrested for attempted murder. The details have came out. The guy that he shot molested one of Cain Velasquez's family members, and he went to try to kill him. All respect to him. Free Cain Velasquez. Let's go. There's my opening take.
If this was in, I know what you're gonna say, Ray. Shut up. If this was in Queen's Landing, that would be a sanctioned hit. You're in the game. That's totally fine. But unfortunately, he lives in the real world. And no, we will not be talking about that on today's show. That it was not a sanctioned opening take. But the Queen does what he wants, so that is what it is.
I just wanted to get it out there. Free that motherfucker.
Okay, Ray, go ahead.
Mine is while the Bruins are on this West Coast trip, they need to leave Jake DeBrusk behind because he has his highest trade value of all time. He just got 7 points during this West Coast swing. Basically, his trade value isn't going to get any higher than what it is now. Find the best seller, find the best taker, and just get this deal done. Don't let him come back for Monday's game against the Kings. Just leave him out there in the West Coast where he belongs.
That's the type of take that you get from hockey guy Ray, right?
Thank you.
Right there. That's baseline opening take. We will be talking a little bit about Jake DeBrusk and the Bruins in the show.
I'll save my thoughts for this. For later.
Well done, Ray. Here's my opening take. Bearing the lead here, baseball fans in general, what I found through Twitter and the internet and the bitching that has gone on now that baseball has canceled their first weekend of the game, you're all socialists. You're all fucking socialists. You all want a fair.
Did you just call me a Nazi?
Everything wants to be. They're fascists. Everything wants to be fair and equal. The owners are mean. They're just being mean to the players. Give them what they want. Give them everything that they want. No one understands what the fuck is going on, or they don't care to pay attention to it. Obviously, baseball is shooting itself in the foot, and I'm not here to petition or wave the flag for the owners, but the lack of responsibility that's being put on the players for their inability to strike a deal is baffling to me. And I guess that's my inner contrarian going to the other side. What most people are saying is, blaming it on the owners, but I don't see it. I just don't see it that way. It's not going to be fair. The players are employees. They're not going to make as much. Sorry. Fucking deal with it. Welcome to America. That's the deal. This is a bed you put yourself in.
Thanks a lot, Biden.
Fucking sleep in it. Thanks a lot, Obama. We'll be talking about that. Obviously, we'll be on the Jake DeBrusk. We'll do a little around the NFL. The combine started this week. We're just do a news segment. See how this goes. Bill can take a break on this one. We're going to do a player profile, and this one's going to be on Payton Pritchard of the Boston Celtics, a new segment, player profile segment. We'll see how that goes. And of course, our one of our favorite segments at the end of the show, simplest minds of the week. Got a couple good candidates for that one.
That's a Nazi.
Yeah, definitely a Nazi.
That's a Nazi
show.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show. I haven't flipped my calendar. I literally have no idea what the date is.
Dated
March
it.
Wednesday.
4th.
March 5th is Friday.
Dated it in the fucking email.
4th, buddy. 4th. March 4th.
This is Friday Rewind, March 4th. Welcome to the show.
And if you look at the calendar, the first 28 days match February.
There you go. Wait,
Same
what?
days.
The first
Yeah.
28 days what?
It's the same days. March and February fall on the same days. The first
Oh my
28.
God. How many nuts did you bust over that fucking digit fest?
Hold on, let me call Irene.
Hey Irene, just read me the dates of February and March back to back. What a loser. If you're looking to bust on some nuts and numbers, go down to White Birch Brewing, the best craft brewing in New Hampshire, Nashua, New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
Good stuff, Amherst Street. Get on your down there, get yourself a flight. I can't fucking speak today. Get yourself a flight, get yourself a pint. Yeah, it doesn't help. Whatever you're looking for, White Birch has it for you. Again, get on down to their brewery. If you can't get it there, then get it at your local beer store. Wherever you get it, tell them these Simple Minds boys sent you. All right, we're going to start off somber. We're going to start with the MLB canceling not only opening day, but right now officially the first two series of the season. Obviously, everybody expects that to go beyond. I think the realistic date is somewhere around May 1st, however that works out in the MLB schedule, basically canceling a month of games to get on track. Honestly, look, from what I've read and from what I've listened to, that makes sense financially for the owners. It seems like they can make up that month of April, but I don't know who concedes where in these negotiations to make that happen. I don't know where that is. So let me do this. And Bill, I know you have a lot of thoughts on this. We're going to go to you last.
Ray. Go to Ray first.
Let me read a bunch of shit, and then we'll kind of walk through the key issues. So the first thing, let me just read a segment of this letter to the fans by MLB. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is anybody that cares has probably already heard Rob Manfred say this at his press conference. He read it word for word and was laughing, which people are making way too big a fucking deal of. He's a terrible public speaker. That's what terrible public.
I fucking hate him.
Everyone does, and they should. He's a boob, but the laughing, you should be serious. He just sucks at public speaking. That's what people do. Get over it. Anyway, let me read this part. So I'll start somewhere here, the fourth paragraph, which is kind of the nuts and bolts of the whole thing. Quote, he says, "We have listened to the Players Association throughout this process. A primary goal of the Players Association has been to increase pay for younger players. And as I have said previously, we agreed to share that goal. We offered to raise the minimum salary to $700,000, an increase of $130,000 from 2021. We offered to create an annual bonus pool of $30 million for the young best young players. In total, we are offering a 33%.
Only up $5 million. Yep. It was 25.
In total, we are offering a 33% raise to nearly 2/3 of the Major League Baseball players and adding more than $100 million annually in additional compensation for younger players." He goes on to say the proposal also addressed player and fan concerns about issues like service time and competitive issues. Baseball would for the first time, have a draft lottery, the most aggressive in professional sports. That's not true. Also, for the first time ever, we agreed to an incentive system to encourage clubs to promote top prospects to their opening day rosters. We also proposed the first and second place finishers in Rookie of the Year voting and blah, 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 blah. He goes on to talk about all the great things that they did in the negotiations. Before we rip him, let me read the reply from Tony Clark in the MLB Players Association, which if you have not listened to his rebuttal, don't. Because unless you want to fall asleep. He's an idiot. Fucking word salad buffoon. And honestly, I can't really read this, but oh, here we go. This statement that they put out sounds like some dirtbag politician trying to win your vote through manipulation. And this is probably the biggest problem I have with the Players Association. They just suck at what they're doing. So MLBPA goes on to say in their statement, Rob Manfred and the MLB's owners have canceled the start of the season. First off, right off the bat, that's not correct. You guys were in a negotiation. You both fucking caused this. Players and fans around the world who love in baseball are disgusted and sadly not surprised. From the beginning of the negotiations, players' objectives have been consistent: to promote competition, provide fair compensation for young players, and to uphold the integrity of our market system. Against the backdrop of growing revenues, record profits, we are seeking nothing more than a fair agreement. With Rob Manfred characterized as a defensive lockout is, in fact, the culmination of decades-long attempt by owners to break our players' fraternity. As in the past, this effort will fail. We are united and committed to negotiating a fair deal that will improve the sport for players, fans, and everyone that loves our game. A couple stats here, Ray, before you go. MLB in the past 5 years has recorded a revenue of $43 billion, which they say is down from the 5 years prior. And the only open books that we've seen from owners is from the Atlanta Braves, who reported a $100 million profit. Of course, they are the World Series winners, so take that for what you will. That's where we stand. Your opening thoughts before we get into some of the key sticking points and a little bit more of the details, just your overall thought of this whole process, Raymond.
Owners aren't sweating yet because basically April is one of their least profitable months. So I think there was something said that ESPN and Fox have something about like they have to show 140 games for each team to make abide by their contract. So I believe if you lose all of April and if they start losing games in May, that's when the owners are going to start sweating and probably really go down and start negotiating with the Players Association a little bit more. And because now they're going to be losing money. So right now the owners have the upper hand on the players, I feel, and that maybe when games get into May that they're not reaching a deal. I think Scott Boras is a lot behind this with the Players Association. He's the one telling them, no, don't sign anything. Don't go agree to anything. So it's one of those things where until the owners just start losing money, then that's when you'll see a deal get in place.
Well, yeah, the owners have the upper hand because of course they do. The players have very little leverage. You've heard this phrase a lot, negotiating in, oh my God, sorry, my head, negotiating good faith, which both sides have said neither have done. Here's what you have on a boilerplate level. You have two sides that don't trust each other and that hate each other, which is where I come from when people are talking about it should all be fair. It's not going to be fair. You're entering negotiations. And from everything that I've read, and I've read a lot and I've listened to a lot, I don't have a clear understanding of what the players really want. I know they're hard numbers that they tried to get to, which were like 100% increases in a lot of places that they've come down a little bit on, but it was an ask that nobody would give in a negotiation. They had to know that walking in. So I don't know what I have no understanding of what their agreement level would be. It just seems like they're there to chip away and chip away and chip away, not actually come to an agreement to play ball, which, you know what? Maybe that's right. Maybe that's what they should be doing. Maybe that's the fair, quote unquote, deal for them. But don't make them the fucking little guy fighting for the fans. They're both greedy motherfuckers trying to get as much out of this as they possibly can. And none of them have anything to do with the fans or the game. Do you think Max Scherzer's giving up his $43 million for the fucking staff at Shea Stadium or Mets or whatever the hell? The piece, the poor 23-year-old that's in the video room that's cutting his videos together for 12 hours a day. Are they getting any of that money? No. So don't let the players fool you that they're fucking crying broke and the owners are putting them over a barrel. This is life, people. This is America. It's capitalism. These guys own the team. They're owners of a business. You're the employees. You're negotiating a contract. Deal with it. Chip away at it. You got the next 5 years, you do it again. That's the deal. That's kind of what I think. Bill, before we get into some of the details, try not to jump ahead, but just your overall thought.
Do you think I've read the email yet? No. So, I mean, my biggest takeaway is this.
Damn it.
Sorry. So the biggest thing for me is, the average Major League Baseball player makes $4.64 million. You know what the median base app player makes? 1.2 to 1.3 million. So
How do they survive?
I know it's really is, but
really
inflation's, I know I barely survive on my million a year. No, but I mean, that's the biggest thing. They're trying to get the middle guys paid. I think the owners got to crack, and same thing with the players. They got to find common ground, but like the incentive to raise their player pool to $30 million, all-star pool, whatever it was. That's $5 million. It's been $25 million in the last CBA, and now you're only trying to raise it $5 million to make it $30 million. I mean, I just think, the owners are trying to save as much money as they can, but they need to do something. Both sides got to come together, because all there is it's just money. It is all it's going to come down to is money. And again, you think about losing games in April. I mean, that's when you have your most off days, especially for teams like the Red Sox. They always start on the road. You're going to have your rain out, sometimes you get snow out games. I mean, of course, all those games usually get made up in the regular season, but later on in the season in the warmer months, but you're still losing those games. Either way, eventually, I mean, 2 series, yeah, but if you start pushing it, I've said June 1st for a long time was my thought. Even before they locked out, I thought games were going back to June 1st, and I can see that. Ray, you floated July 4th. If they don't, I mean, the players, Max Scherzer, and I don't even know who the other guy, Brock Holder, some lesser guy even came out and said they were, or Ross Sterpling, sorry, came out and said they were a fucking slap in the face, the last offer, and they refused to balk. So, I mean, I think both sides are kicking their feet in the dirt, and then they're just staring each other down. But yeah, I expect the summer. I expect April, all of April and into May going. I mean, you got to get going pretty soon here. I mean, you're already into March. You got to get these guys built up, and you're going in the summer. June 1st seems like a most realistic option at this point, truthfully. Or you're rushing the season. And if you're rushing the season, that's when you got to expand rosters, have more pitchers, so you go in and out. And it's going to be like spring training. It's going to be fucking ugly to watch.
Yeah. So the first thing, the first day that they could have gotten back together would have been Thursday, which is tomorrow from when we're recording. So we don't know if they got back together. I'm assuming not. Let's go through some of the minutia that not a lot of people care about, but it's what they're fighting about. So if you care about baseball, you should kind of have an idea of what they're talking about. I marked down, I don't know, 6 kind of key points of the finances that they're going over. We'll run through them. I kind of gave you my opinion on who I thought was right and wrong. The big one, the one that I think caused the lockout was the CBT, or commonly known as the luxury tax in baseball. And honestly, this is where it's the biggest issue. And it's the one that I think the players are most wrong on, which is why I think I find myself leaning more with the owners when I kind of read about all of this shit. I mean, we'll go through it, and I'm team player for a lot of this, but the luxury tax, the players will not engage in a conversation about the luxury tax becoming what they would consider a salary cap, which they already think it is, at all. That's a problem. If you're a player, they won't, hold on, Bill. They won't talk about a floor in MLB, because if you instigate a floor, it will, they think, inevitably lead to a ceiling or a cap, a salary cap, which all professional sports teams have. The biggest thing that the players have come in, which I think is bullshit, trying to get, is competitive balance, which in their minds thinks will lead to more big contracts. Like teams like the Pirates and the Brewers will be able to afford bigger contracts and not just suck off the likes of the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Tampa Bay.
Well, guess what, motherfuckers? That's what salary caps do. They actually do create a competitive balance. In theory, more so than baseball, certainly. More so than baseball. It's the biggest thing wrong with the fucking sport. And the players will not even sniff at going into negotiations or talks about that happening. They don't want revenue sharing, because revenue sharing creates a cap. If you start, the owners don't want to open up their books, that's for sure. But the players don't want them to either, because then if the Brewers fucking don't do as well in a year, like a COVID year, that affects the cap, which then affects the players. And the players, the Max Scherzers, the ones negotiating this deal, are sucking off the tits $43 million a clip of these big franchises, and they don't want to give that up. But at the same time, they want the owners to pony up and pay the young kids and pay the middle guys. So I just don't understand where the players are coming from in this one. Like, where do you think? What do you think is? You better be willing to sit out forever if that's what you want, or change your negotiation style and be willing to chip away at it over the next 10 to 15 years. That's it. That's the only way that they can do that, which will obviously, I think, be the way that it ends up going down. But I just have no sympathy for the players when it comes to
players don't want a cap because they want super teams. You look at Yankees, Dodgers, even the Red Sox, big market teams don't want it because they make more money. They don't want to be kicking up and sharing it. I mean, the salary cap floor, I mean, to me, kind of makes sense in a way. I think it does create a little bit of competitive balance. If you did go to this salary cap way, you look at NHL for many, many years, and they didn't have a salary cap. They were the last one. Jeremy Jacobs, our fucking most hated owner for me in Boston, was a big proponent of the salary cap. So it does work. But in baseball, you got to, I mean, at 220, I mean, it gives more competitive balance, and it takes the money out of the big market teams, right? Because now everybody has the salary cap, and now you have your teams are going to spend your 220. As long as they don't do it like, I want a hard cap. I've said it for a while. I don't want it's like basketball where you have your luxury tax, and if you hit this, it's blah 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 blah. I don't want that shit. You have $220 million and go over it. You can't go over it like that. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do.
Well,
and it spreads money around because it doesn't let your teams like the Dodgers or the Yankees spend.
But that's not
$250
player
million.
friendly, Bill. It's why the players will never negotiate it. It's why the players have not even started.
No, I
to talk
know, and
about
that's
a
why
hard
I don't.
floor,
That's
because
why,
that means a hard cap. So the NBA, they have a soft cap for players on their own team, which allows guys like Steph Curry to make $500 million if he stays with the Warriors. There's still money to be made with the NBA because have you ever tried to learn what the fucking NBA luxury tax is?
I get
It's
a headache.
insane. They
Dollar
put
for
enough
dollar,
clauses in
right?
there
Something like
where the best guys can still make their money. And do not get it twisted. That's what this fucking negotiation is about for the MLBPA. It's about the big guys still being able to make their $400 million contracts, but they also want the arbitration pool increase. They also want the arbitration number down, which we'll get into all that, but they also want the middle guys to get paid. They want it all. And you don't get it. And that doesn't happen in a negotiation. That's the part where I think Tony Clark and his guys are missing it. But in terms of the salary cap, Bill, yeah, you're right. What you said is exactly right. You have look at hockey. And the sport dictates a lot of, 8 seeds making runs in the playoffs and shit, but also the teams are more balanced because you have a hard cap. You have to decide how you can play, and you can't just stack your rosters. And players don't want that. They want the ability to teams to be able to pay enormous amounts of money for talent if that's what they want to do, because that player then gets paid.
I mean, I'm going to tell you right now,
both ways, players, and nobody's talking about that enough. No, you can't have it both ways. And I'm sorry the owners are making money over fists, but that's capitalism. That's how the world works. That's just how the world works.
I want Major League Baseball, and if I was the owners, I'd try to model what the NFL does. I don't want full guaranteed contracts, and if I'm the owners, I'm fucking fighting for that. I want all major sports to have non-guaranteed contracts after a certain year. I don't want to see fucking guys have, Bryce Harper signed a 13-year deal. What's going to happen? Mookie Betts, 12 years?
That's
Mookie
the
Betts
other thing. That
you know what I'm saying? Like,
players,
this is.
Hey, Bill, is your salary guaranteed? If you just stop doing your job, do you get fired?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Nobody in the world has guaranteed salaries for 13 years. Fuck you, MLB players. Bill, you're not team player. I think we've just learned that you're not team player based on.
You talked me out of it, son of a bitch.
I'll talk you back into it, because here's the things that the players have a really good ground on, and we'll move through this quickly because we've been on this for a while. I'll list all of them and we'll talk about them. So arbitration/service time. Owners
yes, 100%.
Owners are basically
gross,
treating the players like slaves until they turn 26.
Chris Bryant sued too, and he lost because they delayed his service time. Wander Franco should have been up day fucking 1 last year. They delayed his service time. It happens year after year after year, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit the way they maneuver it just to get an extra year of arbitration. It's really fucking stupid. And again, doing that too is you get a year where you say you're going to make $600,000 because you're this player, and then you can't negotiate. They tell you this is what you're making, and then the next year it's like, okay, this is what you're making, and then year 3, that's when you start hitting the arbitration, and that's when the money starts going up. So they want to delay that as long as they can to get the arbitration, and it's fucking horseshit the way they do it.
It's bullshit. But to the owner's credit, they knocked a year off of that in these negotiations, and
So
the players
2
said
years.
fucking no. The players said no to everything. The players raised the minimum salary $130,000 to $700K for a minimum guy.
$750.
I think they went to 7. I think that the players wanted
Either way,
750.
yeah,
They
either
came
way.
to 725, and the owners met him at 7. But you mentioned it when I was reading the MLB letter, Bill. The pre-arbitration bonus pool. The owners
That's what it
came
was,
to
yeah.
$30 million. The players wanted 115 originally, came to 85. So you're $55 million apart, which honestly for the owners is a fucking drop in the bucket. That's not one that they should be fighting on. They should come to 50 and fucking call it a day.
When
Isn't
you
that
only
$2 million
offer
a team?
you offer $5 million extra to that pool.
15. They started at 15.
No, $25 million is what was in the previous agreement. and they offered 30. It was a $5 million raise. That was it. That was their extra proposal, was a $5 million raise to 30 million. The players wanted 115 and then came down, and the MLB said, no, you're fighting over peanuts at this point when you're looking at a $45 billion company, roughly what MLB is. The Atlanta Braves, what was the first team, the $100 million, $140 million in the World Series year they just made. You can afford to throw in an extra $50 million, 2.5 a team, throw it in, gives you fucking what, 65 million, call it a deal. Let's go.
Yeah, this is a team player scenario for sure. I thought that they started at 15 million, the owners did, and came up to 30, but I could be wrong. Either way, that's not that big of a difference. They there's no reason for them to be playing hardball on that one. Meet in the middle, call it a day, work up from there. Free agency, which we all know is broken in the MLB. Players want that free agency time shortened. They're right. It should be. It'd be better for the game and be better for the players. What the owners did is they didn't touch any of that, but they did eliminate the draft pick compensation, which basically
it's been around for like 40, 50 years, right?
Been around for a long time.
I don't like that.
Well, hold on, Bill. In theory, it should help signing players. We know for a fact that the Red Sox, did not go after some free agents because they didn't want to give up second, third round draft picks. But at the same time, owners did not give up enough on this one.
No, and honestly, with regards to the draft picks, you can't. It's give or take, right? So you want to be a small market team, right? So that's what you're fighting for. The players got to give and take, right? They if the owners are fighting for a salary cap floor, they want, or whatever, right? So that's what the owners kind of want. You can't have it both ways. This is how you kind of cripple small market teams, right? So guys like, say, Evan Longoria bounces from Tampa, not traded, but he loses. Like, those are the kind of guys that they can't afford these players. They can't afford these superstars. And so you have to let them at least be able to build on getting a first round pick, depending on the players, right? So say Mike Trout, say he's a once in a generational guy. Say he comes up at Kansas City. He's just signed. He's going to get 600 million, let's say, by the time he's done his career. Kansas City would have never been able to afford that. So you at least got to give.
That's why you need a salary cap. That's why you just talk yourself into having a salary cap.
Well, I'm just saying, I've said,
but that's why the small market teams are never. Yeah, I agree with you, and that's why the small market teams are never going to be able to compete because they need a salary cap. These teams can't compete with the Angels, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Yankees. They can't
can
afford...
if you can give them that compensation. And let's be real, Houston did it.
You think Pittsburgh? Anyone's not going to want to go to Pittsburgh?
It's not about going to Pittsburgh. It's about going, if you can develop your own talent, you get a 6-7 year window with your guys, right? Once they hit the show, you get 6 years that they're under team control. If you hit on your draft picks and have enough guys, Kansas City just won a World Series. They went to back-to-back World Series in 14 and 15 and won the World Series and then ripped the team down. Though that's the model you do it. Tampa Bay is doing it right now. They're bringing up guys. They're drafting very good, and then they're trading their pieces away, or they're letting them sign to get more prospect and draft picks. That's how you're building your team as a small market team. So you need that compensation in. They got to come to equal ground. It's either you want a salary cap floor or that. That's
quickly, Rich. Quickly though, didn't the World Series with the Rays and Dodgers, both starting pitchers were drafted by Pittsburgh, and they both were let go because Pittsburgh just didn't want to pay them the money?
You're probably right, but both of you are speaking towards to the players not negotiating in good faith when it comes to what's best for the game.
I don't think either of them are negotiating.
No one gives a shit about the game, but at least look, what's good for the game is not good for players. Look at the NFL. Bill, you said it. You want the all sports to model after the NFL because it's the best game. There's motivation within free agency. The Patriots have done it for 20 years. You let a guy walk. If he signs with another team, you get a compensation pick, right? So maybe that's a model. It's not if you sign a guy, you lose a pick. It's if you let a guy go, you gain a pick. There's a different way of positive thinking there.
Yeah,
but it's also, there's a fucking cap. There is ramifications for teams and spending money, which allows small market teams to compete. Baseball doesn't have it, and the players don't want it. And that's bad for the game. It's bad for the game.
That's it.
Another thing, we mentioned this, the minimum salary players were big on this. But again, they fucking said no. The owners came up 130 grand from last year up to 700,000. Players wanted 725. They said no. The other thing players wanted was to put in a draft lottery to help teams not tank, which honestly, I agree with, but I don't think it's going to stop teams like Pittsburgh from tanking. Who gives?
No.
Do you think they give a shit whether they have the first overall pick or the fourth overall pick in baseball?
Nope.
Who'd they take? They just took that lighter kid, right?
Who
They picked
cares?
first.
Either
Yeah.
way, the players wanted 8 teams. The owners wanted 3. They came to 5. It should be anybody that's not in the playoffs like the NBA does. But even then, it's not going to matter because baseball has 100 more players than the NBA. It's a stupid thing that they got hung up on, and the players said no. Game changes that they did agree on: a 12-team playoff instead of 14. I'm not in on that. I like baseball playoffs. I think it makes the regular season worth it. And when you have 162 fucking games, you better make it worth it. Because at this point, I don't even want to watch all those anyway. So 12 teams was too much. I was not on board with that one, but they got it through. We'll see if that sticks. And then the universal DH came in pretty early.
Yeah, that was right away.
There's talks of the players negating on both of those to try and get talks started back up and get what they want. The other game changes proposed by the owners, which I'm pretty much in favor for all of them, is pitch clock, eliminating the shift, and larger bases, which people are making fun of, but they think that it will improve steals, give players a better chance to steal bases, which will increase the athleticism, which will increase, action.
What's
in the
this
game.
fucking softball? Come on, kid.
No, I'm for all of it. I'm for all of it. And there was a clause in there
for tampons too.
And there was a clause in there that would give the Major League Baseball basically just more freedom to make changes to the game easier than they have now, which right now they have to implement changes to the game 1 year ahead of time.
In the minors too. They got to test it in the minors too.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking ridiculous. It's
which is the NFL makes.
Why do the players have any say in their fucking sport? Anyway,
and the NFL makes changes right away. It's bullshit. Baseball's too long of a season anyway, so it's like if you want to make these change, you can't do a year in advance. No,
baseball players are such pussies when it comes to this shit. Look at last year in the sticky icky. It was illegal. What they were doing was already illegal, and they almost had a conniption over the fact that they took away that sticky because it was in the middle of the season. I have no sympathy for the players when it comes to these in-game changes. Here's a big one, a sticking point, though, and then we'll move on from here. Ray, are you in favor of eliminating the shift?
Yeah, because it gives left-handers more better chance to get it on base. I think they had like an average of 217 when they did the shift or something like that. Like on average with the
right-handers batters too, man. The
left-handers are the more ones that they shift. I mean, look at Ortiz. Every time he went up to bat, they fucking shifted for him. So it's
traditionally left-handed hitters are more pull hitters, and you've seen the shift happen there. But Bill's right. Now that the nerds have the game, the defenses that are going on is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Every single sport has rules about playing defense that you can't do things to increase offense. Why should baseball be different?
Mm-hmm.
Why should baseball be different? You can't hold in football. You can't stand in the paint in basketball. You can't
stand in the crease.
Stand in the crease in hockey. You can't put 5 guys in the crease around the goalie. Why should baseball be different? Mm-hmm. Fred Lynn just hit it the other way. Fred, get in the box. You played in the 70s. Get in the box against this fucking guy that just came in and is throwing 98 on the black in your fucking chin and hit it the other way, dude.
Ray, if you didn't know, that's the black is the corner of the plate. If you didn't know.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Baseball is dead. They are pissing on the ashes of their sport as they quabble over their millions of dollars, none of it going to any of us. Any final thoughts on baseball? Because we're not talking about them for months.
Fuck you, Rob Manfred, you fucking cunt.
Oh, yeah, I will agree with that. Rob Manfred is a boob. He is a walking tit, as you would say, Bill. That guy does not deserve his job. He's worse
nutsack
than Roger Goodell. He's not even like a good villain like Roger Goodell. He's just kind of goofy about it. He sucks.
He's not even a good villain like fucking Gary Bettman, and that guy's had like 4 lockouts under his belt.
Yeah, you need to
all right, let's be real. Bud
Putin
Selig
style James Bond villain. There's your politics.
At least Bud Selig fucking had some pretty good cohesion between these guys. Rob Manfred takes over and it goes to shit. And for 5 years, he's been there 6 years, whatever it's been. It just goes to shit. Yeah, everything else has gone smoothly since '94. He built the game back up. He let the steroid era in. He built the fucking game back up to the peak of it was. And now Rob Manfred is taking the the reins for Bud Selig and ruining the fucking sport I love. Just kill him.
Rob Manfred's not running the sport. The owners and the players are doing it for him, but he's the figure
But you
for
need
it.
to have a backbone, and when you're the commissioner of the league, and he has none.
Or
He
you
has
need to
none.
be,
He-
or you need to be corrupt as fuck.
Ray
like
has
Seal.
more bones in his dick than fucking Rob Manfred has in his back. All right.
How many bones do you have in your dick, Ray? That's all right. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back with a little Bruins talk.
Bill's just upset because the Braves and Red Sox series is going to get canceled, and he's not going to be able to see his beloved Braves in person.
That was in
Bill's
the
upset he's
fucking
not going to be able
spring training.
to
No, they're playing in Fenway.
defend
this year,
his
you dumbass.
baseball
I know.
fantasy football title or fantasy baseball title.
I'm very upset about that.
All right, welcome back. Let's get into something a little bit less depressing, depending on how you want to look at it. Jake DeBrusk, Raymond, has been on fire out on the West Coast, showcased on that first line. 7 points in, I guess, technically 6 games. Well, they played a 7th game, so we'll see what he does against who are they playing on Thursday?
They play
Vegas.
the Vegas Knights, and then Saturday they got Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah, but this is coming out Friday, so we don't know what happened on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
We know that through 6 games, he has 7 points. The last game being a loss in Anaheim, in which he had none.
Bad loss. 20,
terrible, gross loss.
23 seconds left. You let up a goal. Omar.
Yeah,
Omar, get to the bench.
Fuck
Give me the
off the
give me
ice,
give me the
dude.
rookie of the month in Jeremy Swayman, 5-1 with a 99.60 save percentage of 2 shutouts. Get this motherfucker in every single night. I get it was back to back. I'll give it to him. Same thing with Celtics. Lost the Pacers the other night, back to back. But come on. It's Jeremy Swayman is seizing that fucking big contract that from the Bruins now. Omar, oh God.
Bye-bye. Yeah. There's your Bruins stock. I want to stick on the DeBrusk thing, though, because Ray's opening take shouldn't come back east with them. I think that the thought is right. The timing might not be because the deadline's not for a week or so. But, I agree with you, Ray. The trade value of Jake DeBrusk is as high as it's been in years. I don't know about ever, but certainly in a long time. And guess what? He hasn't rescinded his request for a fucking trade. Get him out of Boston. Bye-bye, Jake DeBrusk. Get the
His
fuck
agent
out
came
of here.
out this week and said that his client still wants to be traded. He does not want to be part of the Bruins organization.
You got to lower your asking price. This is the big reason why I don't tell you right now is he's an RFA, and the qualifying offer is 4.6 million next year. Hey, do what I want. Okay, it's 4.6 million next year, and I think that's scaring teams away. They don't want to give up a lot of assets when you have to, where he's basically a rental. Or the thing I've been reading lately is that it might come in the offseason. You just trade his rights, or you just let him go. I don't think Sweeney's going to move him. I think I know he wants to be traded, but if you get this production, I know he's probably, I'll give him 7 goals. I'll probably say 5 of them were soft, 4.
Still
Maybe.
goals.
Yeah, those were bad fucking goals.
I'll
Still
give
goals,
him
man.
the tip on his for the hat trick the other night.
The redirect was nice. And
Was redirected. He got lucky. They called it a goal on the ice because I thought his stick was over the crossbar. You just couldn't tell on replay. But either way, this is what you want. But if you can make a run, say you add other pieces and keep Jake DeBrusk around him, and he keeps playing this well in the first line, say he scores 20 to 25 goals. You got to think he's at 14 or 15 now. Say he puts in
4th
another
leading
9
goal
goals.
scorer on the Bruins.
Who are you going to give up? What are you going to give up to get assets in return?
I'm just saying if you can add different pieces, Phil Kessel you can have for a 3rd round, and I'm saying I know what you want, but he's that's a nice piece. If you grab him, if you make a move for Phil Kessel, then I know Jake DeBrusk you're going to lower your asking price for DeBrusk because you're going to slide Phil Kessel on the natural right wing with Bergeron and Marchand, and then that makes Jake DeBrusk expendable. Right. So that's where, if you can do that, you're going to either bring back 1, a 2nd line center, or 2, the defenseman that you need in any Jake DeBrusk deal. And you know what? If you're going to lose Bergeron this year, which I think we all pretty much agree he's going to go, then that means you're going to sell out like the Rams, move your 1st round pick. If you can keep guys like Fabian Lysol, I don't want him in any trade right now. I think he's going to be too valuable, and that's where you have to build the farm system. But your 1st round pick, go for it. I think the team could be there, especially if you can get Jeremy Swayman playing the way he is. I don't expect him to do what he just did this last month in February, but he's going to seize that role. Just DeBrusk is only going to get moved if you add another right wing. I have that feeling.
I think if you move DeBrusk, and I think that Sweeney is thinking this way, if you move DeBrusk, it has to be for a player of his caliber, basically straight up, or he needs to be a package for someone who is going to improve your team, not only now, but in the future. We had this text exchange the other day, Bill. I'm not putting DeBrusk in a package for a Phil Kessel. I'm not putting DeBrusk in a package for a guy.
What if you go to What if you get Phil Kessel and that D guy, and Jake DeBrusk is a deal with the first round pick,
but
and you
just
get
a DeBrusk
deal.
or a first round pick or a prospect? They need to move for something that is going to help them not only now but in the future in a position of need, center and defense. I'm not moving DeBrusk just to move him for Phil Kessel.
No, I wouldn't either, and I don't. No, and I wouldn't. I did not say I would move.
I know you didn't. You
Kessel,
said the opposite, which I agree with you. If you see Phil Kessel in here for a third round pick, expect to see Jake DeBrusk move, and I think that that's a good way to look at it because he can be a replacement, and maybe DeBrusk is part of a bigger package. I've been calling for it for years. I would love to see them actually put their balls on the table and make a hockey trade and send something out to get something back to shake up this roster, to shake up the core, and give me a left shot defense of top quality left shot defenseman to play with McAvoy. Give me a center that can play on the second line because you have zero centers in this system that can take over after Bergeron's gone. Go make a move that does something. You have Jake DeBrusk that looks like a 25 goal scorer at 25 years old. The Bruins are letting him and his agent go out there and negotiate an extension with a team that might want him. That's good news if you want to brace DeBrusk out of Boston. Do it. Pull the fucking trigger, Sweeney. You're about to get canned, dude. It's your last year. Fucking make a move, bud.
Would you move Jake DeBrusk for a rental? Because I'm going to throw a name out, and we've had the conversation. It's Philippe Forsberg or whatever his first name is, Forsberg down there from Nashville.
Yep, I would do it for Forsberg.
If you can get him to play on his off wing, he is a left wing. You don't have a need at left wing right now with Marchand and Taylor Hall. But if you could add him on your right wing, does it negate the need for a second line center? I think that the way the second line is playing right now, even with Hala's been getting good. You know,
it doesn't negate your need for a center because you have no centers. But Jake DeBrusk is a walking dead man in the Bruins system. All it does is eliminate your chance of potentially getting something of greater need in the offseason. I think if you trade for someone like Forsberg, you hope that they can come to an agreement to keep him around on a 3 or 4 or 5 year deal after a trade like that, because he would be a free agent. But yeah, I'm not this guy that says Jake DeBrusk can't go unless you get something stellar in return. He's gone regardless this year or in the offseason. So if you want to sell out and instead of a first round pick, you move Jake DeBrusk for a Forsberg, then yeah, I'm on board for that, for a rental for sure. I think that makes sense. Ray, any final thoughts on Jake DeBrusk not coming home?
No, I just hope it happens. But it's not, like you said, the trade deadline is not till March 21st. So obviously it's a little bit more time than we think. So yeah, hopefully he excels against the Knights and someone pulls the trigger on him and he's gone by Monday.
Yeah, or he continues to play the way he's playing on the first line back in Boston and up until the deadline, and we'll see how it goes. All right, boys. That's Bruins talk. Let's go ahead and throw it over to headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you, Richard. No accents this week, so that's going to be a plus for me. MLB and the MLBPA have decided to cancel the first two series of the season. The two sides couldn't come to an agreement over who would get richer as they pissed on the ashes of their sport. The Celtics get the win over Atlanta Hawks 107-98 Tuesday night. Jaylen Brown left the game in the first quarter with a boo-boo on his ankle and did not return. Jason Tatum led the Celtics with 33 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Derek White and Grant Williams each pitched in with 18. Racerdamus says the Celtics got jawed in their matchup against the Grizzlies on Thursday. Ja Morant is an alien, but the cookie is still in the oven. Jake DeBrusk and the Bruins finally lose out west. They fall to the Ducks 4-3 in Anaheim. DeBrusk failed to record a point for the first time in 5 games. His trade value is the highest it's been in years, and he's still a little twat that wants out of Boston. Bye-bye. The Bruins have finished their road trip on Thursday versus the Knights, which is wrong because they're in Columbus on Saturday. Racerdamus does not do hockey. Under pressure from the international community due to Russian invasions of Ukraine, Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich is selling the Premier League club Chelsea. It is reported all the net proceeds will be donated to the victims of the war in Ukraine. Swiss billionaire Hasrogwis is expected to purchase the club in exchange for many monies, an unborn child, and 12 virgins as the world continues to be a playground for the old rich Jews. The NFL Combine was this week, and the Patriots still don't have any coaches. This has been Headlines with the Office One. You know how you could have like the words where they like give you like how you're really supposed to say it? Like if you look in the dictionary, gives you like, cunt. It's K-A-N-T.
Phonetically is what you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. We need that when it comes to like these European names.
No, it's better for you to sound
just
them out.
need to not be
Is
retarded.
Columbus West?
Yes. They're in the
Columbus,
West.
Ohio?
They're in the
No.
Western Division.
Yeah, but they're in the central.
What did I just say? What did I just say?
Of the
I
country.
guess I
What
would
did I just
agree
say?
with you, Ray, that on a part of the road trip that the Bruins were on, Columbus would be considered a Western road swing because they're on their way back from the West. But in general, Columbus, Ohio is not West.
No. Is it east or west of the Mississippi?
East.
Then it's in the
Columbus is the asshole of America.
Geography with the doughboy. That's a new segment also coming. Bill, you might want to brush up.
I got it. I know the states.
Good job. How about the NFL? We're going to do this rapid fire around the NFL. There's some key things that we want to get to. First, the combine has started and free agency is on the 16th / the 14th with whatever tampering period, which means everybody's talking to each other right now. Bill, we talked about the Patriots coaching situation last week in depth, me and Ray. Haven't got your opinion on it, so I'll ask you that. And are either of you guys big combine guys? I guess
No, I think the combine's wicked stupid.
Yeah,
I just think it's wicked dumb.
We all
Coaching
agree with
staff,
Bill,
and we agree with you again.
and we agree with you again. Welcome back. Go ahead, elaborate.
Joe Judge ruined Daniel Jones in for the Giants, and Matt Patricia has never coached. Neither one of these guys have coached on the offensive side of the ball. And-
Patricia started on the
wait,
offensive line, and Joe Judge coached wide receivers
Sorry.
in 2007.
Oh,
Fucking
They-
put some respect on their name, Bill.
Idiot.
so you lose Josh McDaniels. I just think this hurts the development of the team. Mac Jones is the biggest development right here. You're looking at two coaches that have zero experience calling plays or anything when it comes to remotely offense. Joe Judge was an assistant wide receiver coach. Okay, that Chad O'Shea was there. Oh, that's a bullshit.
My bad.
You just
How dare you,
doesn't,
Richard?
it doesn't make sense what they're doing in their coaching staff, and they're just. This is a pivotal year two. You want to see that year two jump for Mac Jones. You need to see it, and now you're going to some Cameron Bethel or Brittle Bottle. Bitchy,
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. what
Doesn't
his
matter.
stupid
That's the
name is.
point.
Tight end coach. This is pathetic. We've heard Adam Gase thrown around. I would welcome Adam Gase with open arms right now.
At this point, I was so down on Adam Gase when it started. At this point, I would almost take him. And the reports, I think it was someone at NBC Sports Boston that had been talking around and reported that the word that teams were describing for the Patriots coaching staff was
Laughable.
flabbergasted is what I heard.
Oh yeah, Phil Perry had it. Phil Perry.
Phil
Dude,
Perry, yeah, I think he did have it. I think it was
joke.
flabbergasted is the word he used. And how could you disagree with him? Here's the one thing I'll say about the offense is I think Bill Belichick plans to take a ginormous role and ginormous step into the offense. I don't think he'll be calling plays. I don't know who will be calling plays. That's a journey.
Imagine if Bill Belichick calls plays for the offense and they win a fucking Super Bowl.
I would
You would
fucking
never-
love
you would
that.
never-
And I'll tell
you
you
would
what,
never
I
hear the
trust
end
Bill
of it.
Belichick in the offense. When Brady was his second year, in his first year, he was heavily involved in that offense, and I trust him to raise a quarterback. I'm not as worried about Mac Jones as other people are because I think
Would
Bill
you bring
Belichick.
Charlie Weiss back?
No. Did you see
No,
an interview
he's
with him the other day? He's like
too
400 pounds and he can't
fat.
even walk.
I'm not
Right.
worried about Mac Jones like other people because I think Bill Belichick is actually taking it upon him to mold this young boy. But who coaches defense? We saw what happened when Belichick gave it back to that Frankenstein version of a coordinator with Gerard Mayo and his stupid fucking mullet tongue licking son. They went from second defense in the league to 32nd in a matter of 1 week. So, yeah, you can't be positive about this Patriots coaching staff. They're so thin. They're so thin.
They had a bad snap because they were all sick on the defense end. Kyle Van Noy went on EI today. And
shut the fuck up.
I couldn't believe that.
I
It's
don't
like, why
make
would you-
excuses. We don't make excuses.
But we were all sick. We all had a bug.
COVID. Fuck you, Kyle
Bullshit.
Van Noy. I hope they cut your ass, you prick.
Yeah, he should be gone. In that same vein, it seems like they could get all the help that they could get on the field. Calvin Ridley is a name that's been rumored to the Patriots a lot after his mental health exit from the Atlanta Falcons. It is now reported, or maybe rumored, that what it would take for the Patriots to get Calvin Ridley would be a second-round pick and Chase Winovich.
Yeah, it was floated out. What a
Done.
I would make that trade yesterday.
Yeah.
Why is Atlanta even entertaining a Chase Winovich? Chase Winovich played 13% of defensive snaps this year. Chase Winovich.
To Atlanta's credit, they have come out and said we're not entertaining trades. We want to do everything possible to keep Calvin Ridley in the system.
I would trade my first round pick to get Calvin Ridley if you could sign for a good deal.
The Atlanta Falcons are not allowed to speak directly to Calvin Ridley because it might affect his sensitive mental health.
And that's why Rich is out on Calvin Ridley.
I am.
Right.
You know how I feel
on
about
Calvin
mental.
Ridley.
You know how I feel about mental health.
Whoever's listening, the 10 people listening to this, don't think that I'm an asshole for the mental health thing. But professional sports,
You're an
professional
asshole because
athletes
you're an asshole.
claiming mental health because they can't deal with the pressure of their profession can fuck off.
You're making millions of dollars. You don't even have to show up to fucking practice. All you have to do is say, I'm exhausted. Atlanta will cater to him. He's one of the best. He's a top 10 wide receiver in this league.
Bill, it's just not mental health. It's not a mental health issue. Part of your job as a professional athlete is to deal with the pressure.
No, and the pussy generation.
It just means you can't do the job.
Coming up in America right now. They're all a bunch of fucking pussies.
Not mental health.
You know why? It's because they can't win a Super Bowl. Everybody needs a participation trophy in this fucking pussy ass America that we're fucking raising.
Here we go.
Right
we don't talk politics on this show.
I'm not talking politics. This is
but
I don't want to fall into this pussy country that when every other fucking country around is a pussy ass country, America could not fall to be pussy country.
He lost his breath on that one.
I know he lost it. He lost it on that. We kind of took that off. Look, ultimate, obviously, unbelievable talent. Calvin Ridley would do wonders for this offense. I think him and Mac Jones he's one of the best route runners in the NFL. Perfect for the system. Probably great for Mac Jones. Reportedly, the Patriots are heavy on the wide receiver at the combine right now. They're looking at everybody, especially that kid out of Alabama. Ray, you probably know his name. I forget. He already said that he'd be special with Mac Jones. They're clearly looking to pad the offensive side of the ball for Mac Jones. I don't even know if it's the right direction, Raymond. I think that they need speed in the second levels of that defense, linebacker in the secondary, especially considering JC Jackson's probably not coming back. Devin McCourty is either retiring or lost the step. You have not a lot of
Hightower's
back
lost
there.
Step.
He's gone. He's a free agent. Anyways.
He's gone.
Bye-bye.
Like, your speed is a problem on defense. I don't know if I'm looking to bring in a number one wide receiver over those guys. I think you need one. I think you need one for Mac Jones, but I don't know if I'm looking to bring him in over speed on defense. Just quickly, your thought on that.
Offense rules this league. It's not defense anymore. So if you can get a better offense, that'll help you out. Because remember when Brady was here, I'm not calling Mac Jones Brady by any means, but you can win games 38-35 as long as you can put up points on the board. So if you can go get that elite receiver to help Mac take that second step in the year 2, I would definitely go do it, whatever means necessary.
You've convinced me, Calvin. Come on down. We'll do a
I don't want
round
that
table discussion for
case. I don't want that mental case
health.
with Bill Belichick can't talk to him directly. Fuck this guy. Fuck him. But Chase Winovich is the second round pick.
I've turned Bill. This was just 2 or 3 times. I've put Bill on the turntable.
Billy snaps, baby.
Yeah, let's see if we can do it again. Bruce Arians and the Bucks are playing some hardball, taking some subtle shots.
That's real hardball.
At
Good,
Mr.
fuck
Tom Brady. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. This is the first time we've ever done this, but hold on real quick. Let me see. Shit. I don't know if I can. I was going to try and give you the sound from Bruce Arians because it was really funny.
Oh, basically how he was saying it wasn't Brady, it was him that did the whole offense.
I don't
Like,
have
everyone's
that
gift-
sound, but he was sorry, I don't have it.
It's bad for business.
Bad for business. He was asked a series of questions about Brady retiring and would they welcome him back. And it sounded kind of sarcastically like, oh, yeah, doors wide open for Tom. Come on back. We got plenty of money for him. Come on back. Would you let him play anywhere else? Nope. Bad for business. Tom's our guy. He's not playing anywhere else. Sounded like a little backhanded fucking shit talk from Bruce Arians. And you add that on to the report that, Ray, you said it wasn't, Bruce Arians came out and said it wasn't all Tom Brady. There was a lot of hands in that pie or whatever the fucking stupid thing he said.
The new report on Brady, too, is he's staying loose. He's still throwing, and it doesn't look like Mr. Brady is retired.
No.
That means a divorce is coming.
Yep, that's what I was just gonna say because
Giselle
basically said
Giselle's going to gallop off into the sunset of Costa Rica.
See, I disagree with you guys. I don't think
with Fabio on her back.
I think it was
as she's grazing in a fucking field. As she's grazing in a field of
you guys are assholes. I disagree with you. I think that Miami Dolphins was the play all along. The Bucks are playing hardball. I think Tom is going to try and make his way onto the Miami Dolphins. It was already reported and confirmed that Dolphins had plans to bring in Sean Payton and Tom Brady. Whether Tom Brady was going to play quarterback or not, then is kind of unknown. There's reports that he was going to be in the front office in some type of role. Obviously, because the Dolphins are a trash organization and got basically sued.
Him and Stephen Ross are dick buddies.
That's not going to happen. So I think Tom Brady's in this limbo, but he will definitely play football within the next year or two. Other news, Aaron Rodgers is being an asshole. Where's he going? Miami?
Who cares? Who cares? Why are we talking about his fucking purge of his body for 12 days? That's the big news.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Tuesday at Irene's.
Warm butter and fucking laxatives. Ugh.
He's turned into a whack job, and he's milking this thing for all it's worth. Green Bay is willing to offer him the moon.
A short-term deal, and it sounds like the wheels are in motion for him to go back to Green
Jordan
Bay.
Love sucks.
Yeah.
But he's being a dick because Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, they're all waiting for him to make his decision, and free agency is just around the corner. So
he said it was coming.
He's got to make a decision quickly. If you had to guess, just give me a team.
Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, this last piece we talked about earlier this week on the text chain. ESPN is going to pay Troy Aikman $18 million a year to call Monday Night Football.
18 to 20. The final
Amazon was ready to pay Sean McVay $100 million to call the games, Thursday night games on Amazon. The guy that's never done the job before, who sounds like a little
he's our age
schoolboy. Yeah,
he's
but he was
36 years old.
High school football player of the year in Georgia, whatever the fuck he played.
Over Calvin Johnson. Remember that. Would you do it if you just won the Super Bowl and you're like, you know what? I don't need to do. I'm 36 years old. I don't need to do this shit anymore. I have a cushy job for the next 5 years, making $100 million.
His fiance?
No late nights, no nothing. Yes. I can live in LA. I can bang fucking supermodels all the fucking time.
Yes. And you only got to do one game a week, money. Thursday night.
Easy money. Look at Tony Romo's already made more money doing this than he's going to make in the fucking living. Troy Aikman won 3 Super Bowls. In those 3 Super Bowl seasons, he made a combined $15.5 million. He's making more money than those 3 Super Bowl years in 1 year. I wouldn't be surprised if the final number comes out at $20 million. It's 18 to 20 because who was it before them? Amazon was what, 15. Yeah. Amazon was 15 and they went up. Everybody's beating the Tony Romo standard because they were all afraid he was going to ESPN, and then they fucking signed him stupid money. It's crazy.
Amazon was trying to get Al Michaels too for that too.
Look at Joe Buck. Joe Buck's on the move too. If Fox loses Joe Buck, they're in trouble. I think
he's in contract, but I just asked the question, Bill. Why did they get paid so much? Are you watching the game for the announcers?
No, because half the time you're cursing them out.
Why did they get even Al Michaels and Collinsworth, who I think are the best in the biz? Doesn't Collinsworth get on your nerves?
I hate Collinsworth. I hate him.
Every game he gets on my nerves.
Troy Aikman, Joe Buck has been
my favorite. I'll tell you right now.
Hold on, shut up, Bill. Joe Buck has been doing games, baseball and football, for going on 30 years, and people have hated him for 30 years, and someone wants to pay him $20 million. Why are these fucking companies paying these announcers this kind of money? It's ridiculous. Like people should be upset about that. Never mind fucking baseball players trying to get their money. Troy
about this,
Aikman
Rich,
making
with,
$18 million a year to give
yeah.
his dumb thoughts on football once a week is ridiculous.
So guys like Jim Nantz, who does he does the NCAA, he does golf, he does football. Guy like that making 20 million. Okay. Joe Buck does baseball, does football. You break it down. He does 10 million to call baseball, 10 million to call football. I'm okay with that with Joe Buck. I mean, I like him more in baseball than I do in football. It mainly because I don't like Troy Aikman. I hope they give him Greg Olson. I probably like that a lot better. And if they keep him at Fox, but yeah, it's kind of those guys I'm okay with. But Troy Aikman, Tony Romo, fucking the Manning brothers making $15 million a year, whatever they're going to make on their fucking
They don't even
ESPN.
call games. They just do a comedy sketch.
I mean, it's really just, it's really at this point just ridiculous. But
I don't even think it's necessary.
Nance and
I think
Romo,
if they took the risk and just put us on there, people would still watch the games.
They just hate us.
Their ratings wouldn't go down.
Dude,
The ratings wouldn't move.
Especially if I can drink and smoke weed on there. Oh man.
True that. All right, let's do a quick afternoon delight. We'll be right back.
Put some trash can moments in there.
Rockets in flight.
Afternoon delight.
Let's have it. Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron. That sounds kind of crazy.
Delight.
All right,
Perfect.
let's
I don't know, Ron.
I don't know, Ron. It sounds a little crazy. This is our new segment, the player profile segment. I don't have any plans for it. I just watched this guy play 2 games and went, not enough people are talking about this little guy. And this one's on
Average, you son of a bitch.
above average.
Shut
Above
up,
average.
Ray.
sorry.
The first player profile is going to be on Payton Pritchard of the Boston Celtics, 24-year-old point guard, 6'1". Raymond, 6'1", 6'1".
I didn't know they stack shit that high.
So he's above average.
195 pounds.
Oh, he's a below average.
195. That's shit. I weigh that. Ray
Okay.
weighed that. Ray weighed that in high school.
Sophomore year. College, Oregon, 4 years. Hometown of West Lynn, Oregon. College stats, 144 games in college. That's unheard of. 13.5 points, 4 rebounds a game, 4.5 assists, 38% from the three-point line, 80% from the free throw line. Drafted by your Boston Celtics, 26th overall in the 2020 draft. His NBA stats are currently at 6.5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. His scouting report. This is interesting. It lists a bunch of stuff. Let me read it off to you. It's really interesting. His this is a scale of 1 to 10. They give you a bunch of attributes here, like a video game. His athleticism was ranked as a 6, size a 7. There you go, Ray. Way above average. Defense 7.
Wait, stop at size. He's a 7 at size.
7. Strength 8. Strong look. That's a
Wow.
strong, medium-sized guy.
It's like
Quickness,
Hasbulla.
7. Leadership 8. Jump shot 8. NBA ready 8. Ball handling 8. Potential 6. Passing 8 and intangibles 9. He got an overall 90 mock draft. He was going 37th overall and Big Bird 38th. I don't know who put numbers on these attributes, but like the number 1 overall pick of the 2020 draft must have been 10s down the board, because how does Payton Pritchard get a 90 and expected to go 37th overall? Anyway, I just thought that he was a spark, specifically in that Pistons game. Pistons have played the Celtics tough for some reason. They're the worst team in the league, and the Celtics can't handle them. And Derek White was having a bad game. What's that, Bill?
I thought the Atlanta game he played well, especially at the end of the second half.
Yeah,
I like it. I like
game,
this last night. Was it last night or
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night?
Tuesday night.
But I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
need to
just
get
watched that
something off the
Pacers
bench.
game, and not the Pacers game, the Pistons game, and Derek White was having a really bad night, and their bench is short, as we know,
Terrible.
and Udoka hasn't played the young guys or anyone beyond that at all, and Marcus Smart got into foul trouble, and Payton Pritchard was kind of forced in there in the third quarter, and he contributed and hit a bunch of shots at 19 points.
Right?
Hit a bunch of a couple clutch 3-pointers. Had some big rebounds. Just played really well. Got the chance to play against the Pacers the next night. They lost that game in a back-to-back, but again he played well. And then, the Atlanta game on Tuesday night, I thought he had a good contribution too. And his rookie year, he was getting more playing time under Brad Stevens, and he looked like a guy that belonged in the NBA as a rookie. And I think that he has a spot in the NBA as a backup point guard, a guy off the bench that can shoot. And
Steve Blake type.
Yeah, a little bit. I think Steve Blake was a little bit more dynamic. I think Payton Pritchard is probably a better shooter, but yeah, in that role. And they're both white, so I get why you said that.
Eddie House. Eddie House is my comp as...
You're high.
Eddie House hit a
You are
lot of big shots.
Well,
dude, that
later in his
08
career. Later in his career. Eddie House is a born backup point guard his whole career. Payton Pritchard is going to be a backup point guard his whole career. And I think Payton Pritchard, later in his career, he's going to have the confidence to hit those late game shots.
Hold on. Do you remember when he compared this Celtics team to the 04 Pistons? Now he's comparing bench players to guys from the 08 Celtics championship team. Ray is a green teamer for life, and I love you for it. Just kidding. I hate your guts, but
I'm gonna surprise you maybe, Bill, but I think I'm gonna agree with Ray. I got a little green teamer in me too. I think I like the comp, Raymond. I like the comp. But you're right. Eddie House was a veteran
you fucks.
Eddie House was a veteran on that team and certainly was around the league enough to Eddie House hit so many big shots.
Oh yeah, but that was later in his career.
Shots.
I think he was drafted in 98 or something like that, Eddie House?
Yeah.
So by the time he was on the Celtics, that was 10 years into his career. I think Payton Pritchard, 10 years down the line.
He reminds me of Steve Francis. Fucking
the franchise?
Okay, we're gonna move past that just a little bit. I'll just finish on this. He's a terrific shooter. He's got range out, and people forget that he scored 92 points in a pro-am in Portland. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Simple Minds of the Week to end the show.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
You know you have a mute button, right? I know. Just say. Bill's hungry.
We're late. We're trying to fucking finish up here. All right, boys, let's finish up with the simplest minds of the week. We start with one Brett Netzer. Sounds like a Nazi, is a Nazi. 20 Red Sox prospect, 20-something-year-old Red Sox prospect was obviously released after anti-Semitic tweets specifically aimed at one Chaim Bloom, the GM of the Boston Red Sox.
Shalom.
Yeah, drafted 3rd round in 2017. Played for the Sea Dogs in 2019. I think he hit like 247. Was a decent player out there anyway, Bill. Here's what he called them. No one will release the tweets, by the way, and they've all been deleted, and his Twitter account's deleted. I tried to message him, see if he would come on the show.
Oh, I read him.
His Instagram is still on.
Oh, really?
Pull
it up, Ray. See if you got anything on there that worth reading. I'll just give you the Cliff Notes version that I got in the articles. Brett Netzer called Chaim Bloom a, quote, fraud and an embarrassment to the Torah-following Jew, and attacked his support for Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ community. Netzer also questioned Bloom's Jewish identity. In another bizarre tweet,
how does that make you feel, Ray?
Agreed that I am a racist and went on to say I judge people based on their color, creed, and whatever else. Kid just seems like a disillusioned.
Why can't you just say you got hacked?
25-year-old.
Real quick, I got a tweet for you. He believed in Christianity, hung a Confederate flag off his trailer, and thought Obama was the Antichrist. So I hope he is rolling in his grave, doing somersaults, actually. This is from Brett Netzer.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
And then someone tweeted back at him, and he says, I've never voted. You can fire me from America before I support any scumbag politician. So, yeah, keep going. He did a little Q&A, and, yeah, this guy is fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's certainly fallen into some whatever far right wing kind of radical shit going on. I don't know, whatever. Maybe he'll find Jesus one day and come to terms. Definitely an idiot. Definitely belongs in the simplest minds of the week. What a moron. If nothing else, even if you believe in his whack job convictions, he threw away a very profitable career in Major League Baseball. So you're an idiot, Brett. Life. See ya. Yeah, you're what job you gonna get now there, Brett?
Oh, quickly, this last tweet. I assume pretty much every black person can dance. I assume Latins are hardworking. I assume Asians get good grades. I assume white people don't season their food all that well. I assume Jews follow the Torah, except Haim. I am racist. That was a tweet he had.
Maybe this is just the most incredible opening to a
Is that a
stand-up
comedy act? Because
No, that's his fucking. That's his
It might
tweet.
just be the most
It's not
incredible
funny.
opening to a stand-up comedian's profession of all time.
Yeah,
I mean-
it says racism isn't necessarily a bad thing. Since the beginning of time, people of the same culture stay within
This
their culture.
fucking
Not
guy,
a hard
25 years
concept
old.
to grasp.
How many times has he done shrooms with his buddies and fucking talked this out? And he was like, you know what, man?
yeah.
I'm fucking putting this on the internet. Fuck it, dude. What an idiot.
What an idiot for not taking any of this shit down.
What an idiot. Just say I got hacked, man. Someone's gonna pay you
Yeah,
you got
$700,000 to go play in the MLB.
You got hacked. Jesus,
What
it's
an
a lame
asshole.
excuse. David Duchovny was fucking other chicks and said he was a sex addict. Tiger Woods fucking other chicks says he was a sex addict.
Yeah,
you got
people
hacked.
love to forgive.
Yeah, they
America
always
loves to forgive, especially white supremacists. You know who did not
look
also-
at Mel Gibson.
There you go. Mel
Beautiful.
Gibson's back.
Beautiful, Bill.
Well done. You know who did not get hacked, or so to this point. Maybe you can check this on Instagram. I think it's still up. Alexander Ovechkin still sporting that profile pic of Putin after losing $500,000 of endorsements from CCM and the pressure mounting. And we don't talk politics, but you know Putin's starting World War III, so maybe not the best look. Just take the goddamn profile pic down, Alex.
Oh,
Wait,
hold on.
he wrote no more war. No more war.
Oh yeah,
Still,
no, it's
still there.
right there.
No
Still
more
there.
war.
That counts.
Oh, that solves everything. No more
Yeah.
war. But I'm
Thanks,
gonna have a
Alex.
picture with Putin.
Thanks,
It's-
Alex.
Insult to injury, he plays in DC. And then lastly, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's going to be the one that blows it up.
Patrick Mahomes.
I thought that too.
He's a spy.
He is. I've watched The Americans.
That's a
He's a fucking spy.
what's the fucking office? What's the office zero? God damn it! The
Zero
movie
Dark
that,
30?
no, that Michael Scott makes.
Oh, Agent Scarn?
Agent Scarn. That's an Agent Scarn movie, right there. It's actually the plot of the. I can't remember the name of the movie. Make last one I had on the.
Do you ever see Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme? They were going to blow up the president or the congressman
Signed
at the,
Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah.
at the Pittsburgh at the Stanley Cup.
Oh,
Yeah,
have
John
you
Van
seen?
Damme, the
Have you seen the
firefighter,
Steven
saves it.
Seagal memes with Russia?
Oh, Joe Rogan thought they were real. Like an idiot.
Joe Rogan had to take one
Steven
down.
Seagal. Yeah, he had to take one for the team. Good for Joe Rogan. I still love him, but Jesus Christ, that was fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was a bad one on Rogan after all the shit that you went through. All right, last one I'll just put on there. Ray, you brought it up. Patrick Mahomes' brother dancing himself out of Patrick Mahomes' will. Just was not invited to the bachelor.
Well, I'm an
party.
idiot when I said he can't come to the games anymore, but I'm an idiot. Can't come to the bachelor party. He's not going to come to games. This guy's a fucking jackass. Get him out of here.
This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind, March 4th. And happy Mardi Gras, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Irene.
Irene?
Thank you, Irene.
Oh, there he is. I got scared for a moment.
Almost thought we got lucky.
I mean, I could leave.
No.
Oh, it was just a video portion
Oh.
of it. But you
I
know
like
what?
your voice. I don't like
you
your
got
face.
it.
Oh, actually reading your name is worse than seeing your face.
Yeah,
Brings
can, you
up,
change, can you just change it to the Queen?
yeah,
Is
that
it?
actually that is better.
Like,
That would be
not for this one. No, maybe I'll have to get a new one.
Brand new
You've been saying
computer.
that. You just said that for 2 years now. Maybe I'll get a new computer.
Oh, I have to get a new Zoom account because I can't have the Queen on a work one.
I hope his new.
Yes, you can.
I
Oh,
hope
okay.
we've influenced Bill enough where his new computer is one of those old '90s Apples, like with the.
That's what
colored
I
ones.
want. I want Oregon Trail on this bitch.
It's purple with like bedazzled bullshit on there, and just says Queen everywhere. I hope that is really your new identity. That you've softened your family man. You're able to admit your feminine side. I hope that's where you go.
Come Friday morning today, as we put this out today, I'll be a rich man, very rich. Yes.
All right. Well, I don't know.
That's depressing. That's depressing. It's not happy.
Soured the mood. I can't believe Queen's Landing is
gone.
Come Friday, I'm officially out. Everything's out. Today is we dropped.
And you didn't have to file one single police report?
Nope, not one.
Real estate in New Hampshire. Live free or die. Anything gets sold in that fucking place.
Oh yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of people showed up. There was
it's Queen's Landing. They're all laying presents on your driveway.
Don't worry, I bleached the whole thing, so there's no DNA left in there. Oof, gotta think smart.
So that's today as this releases, but today that we're recording, Wednesday, is Mardi Gras. Are you also celebrating that, Bill? It's been a while since we've seen you. We need to catch up.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Back on the canteens. Guy fucking loves canteens.
I saw this pineapple flavor in the store, and I was like, well, all right, I gotta get it.
And
I like it.
I feel like the artificial pineapple flavor just never sits well with me.
Gives me a headache.
The high noon, very bad headache. I like the high noon ones. Like they're good. High noon's usually my go-to. High noon and canteen now. I like to switch it up between those two.
High noon's money. It's just a little bit hard to find and expensive.
Oh, you find them everywhere around here. Yeah, they are. They're like $17, $18, depending on what gas station. 20 for 8-pack. I found a gas station.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Obama. I found a gas station.
Politics.
I found a convenience store down the street from me that sells 12 packs of high noons, though. So I always try to stock up when I can get them there.
Yeah, I always pull the trigger on the 12. Never fuck around with the 4 if you don't have to. Doesn't make any economic sense.
No, you got to go to the 8, but now you can get a 12. I'm like, hell yeah. But my whole fridge downstairs is filled with high noon grapefruits because it tastes like government cheese. So I just let them stock up before I start drinking them.
Call those rats. That's what we call the leftovers around here. You get too drunk or it doesn't matter. You just start dipping in the rats.
I went to when I
that was me
Chicago.
Last Thursday, by the way. Cheers.
Good for you. When
Wednesday,
I was in
whatever day we recorded.
Wednesday.
I was in Chicago, right? And I bought like a 24-pack of seltzers, and they came with like a mango flavor. I literally drank every single one and left all the mango flavors just on some dude's driveway and said, "Here you go." Like, I'm not drinking this shit.
The Queen has standards. That's good. Anything else, Ray? Anything new in your world? Just living down in your basement?
Yep, living in my basement. I don't need many rooms. I just need one little.
Hey, Ray, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really happy that we pretty much guilted you into watching or threatened you into finishing.
Dude,
King's
that
Land.
was well
that day
executed.
at work. I did nothing at work that day. All I did was watch the.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I thought like because you and I at one point were in the same spot. I went to Tennessee for a little while, and I came back and I started back on like episode 6, and I'm like, oh man, that's why I texted. I was like, I finally finished it. I thought I was the last one to finish. And then it was like, as soon as like, don't spoil it, I'm like, oh yeah.
We're talking about the mayor of Kingstown, which is a great show with Jeremy Renner, and we threatened Ray if he said anything stupid, we'd spoil the ending for him.
I had to be nice for like 24 hours, and
it on these spurts, you're so dumb and so mean that it's good to hold something over your head for a while.
I hated it. I hated that.
That was well executed, Bill. Well done.
Yeah,
I was really waiting because when he said yesterday, that's why I asked you yesterday. You pissed me off, and he was like, "I was like, did you finish?"
I did that on purpose.
Goes, yes,
I did that on purpose. Well, when Rich fucking spoiled it, said someone got shot in the face, I was like, "Son of a bitch."
That was. To be, I kind of remembered and I kind of forgot. No, I completely remember. I knew exactly what I was doing, but I felt like it was obscure enough where, it was out there. But no, you waited the whole day for someone to shoot someone in the face.
I did,
and then it happened.
And then when it happened, I'm like, bitch.
How those last 2 episodes, huh?
Fucking crazy. That last episode was fucking crazy. That last episode, money.
You didn't even see it, have you?
I did. The jail. Dude, when that black guy goes to try to kill a guard, right? No, he doesn't die. Kyle and Mike don't die.
Have you seen the last one?
Yeah. Don't fuck with me, boys. I've seen it.
I'm
making sure great episodes. We have a great episode right now for the Simple Minds Sports Show. What do we say we get that?